Okay, while I'm on a roll making these strange happening videos, I'm going to make another one while I'm on a roll. And I'll try to keep it quick. His wife just came in, so she wants Chinese. Yeah, let's do that. Anyway, this one, Strange Happenings, I think it's number 3. What's it like to kind of grow up strange? This didn't just happen in puberty. It's been that way all my life, even as a very, very young boy all my life, as you've probably seen some other videos. I'll always like that. And some of this is just natural. It all came natural to me for some weird reason. I don't know why. Example. This is psychic kind of stuff. You know, almost like you can hear what's in other people's heads, which I will talk a lot more about that in another video. But even way back in, as a very small child, almost hearing what other people are thinking and hearing it in their head, including my parents. If they ever see this, they're going to freak. They're still alive. People like their secrets. Sorry, I'll get into that later. But as a small kid, and it was hard. It was really hard. So if you're like me and my family, someone else in my family, and you're having a hard time, it is hard. Because what I thought at that time is like, I must be an imbecile. I must be some kind of moron because nobody's talking to me. Nobody will teach me how to do any of this kind of stuff. Why? Am I too stupid for people to respond to me? Is it just a joke? Are people laughing at me because they're not helping me, you know, and they're not responding to me at all? So that's what I thought as a little kid with all this in my head, and kind of hearing what people are thinking sometimes. Even now, sometimes I will say, you know, you said this to people, and they're like, I did not say that. I did not say that. And I'm like, oh, great. I just heard that in their head. I shouldn't have just kept my mouth shut. And that's the best thing I can do is keep my mouth shut most of the time. Anyway, as a kid, back very young kids, young boys, me and my brother, young enough to where we're still in the bathtub together, you know, very little kids. How old is that? What, 4, 5, 6? I don't know. Taking a bath together. Best thing we like to do is make bubble baths and splash it out on the tile floor. Then we'd jump out and slide across the tile floor, and then mom would walk in and there's water everywhere. So we would just slide across the floor having fun. So that's what we did. But when I'm by myself, even at, 5, 6 years old, one of the things I used to do is I would make a triangle like this and hold it to my forehead and come out like this with my eyes, and it had the bubble in there. So it's still a bubble, you know, like with all the colors, the pretty colors. And I would look at that bubble, and the closer I'd look at it, and it's pretty, and the closer I put it to my eyes, it's like I was seeing somewhere else. I was able to see other places, other things happening. So that was the beginning of being able to see elsewhere. And I will talk about that in a different video. Something I read much later in my life when I was still trying to figure out all this stuff, teenage years, why I am like me, and I'll talk about that in another video, but why I am like me. I read up on some psychic defense techniques and different things to try to protect myself, do different things, hide mainly, to keep this a secret, to protect myself. But one of the techniques was to put a triangle above your forehead and push outward. And I did that as a small child at 5, 6, and 7 years old. I don't know why, but it was a game to me at then. And so I would make bubble baths, have the little bubble in my fingers like this, like you can blow bubbles through it. But instead of blowing through it, I would look at the colors and I could pull it to my eyes, and I'd be able to see other places and other things happening. In the world, not just make-believe, but in the world, other places. And that's what I would do. And I would look and I'd watch. And then I would push it out like that. And apparently that is some kind of weird technique. And so I was doing that as a kid. But yeah, it was hard as a kid growing up, doing things like that. And trying to figure out, and like, maybe you're not a moron, you know, what's happening. I don't know. It's kind of weird. Everything's kind of weird. But maybe you're not alone, okay? Yeah, maybe you're not alone.